He will be forever 34 years old. He was born in a typhoon in Santa Monica, California. And I am sure many of you have grown up with this character. This week's video blog traces the beginnings of We know him as a gravelly-voiced sailor with highly toned muscular arms who smokes a pipe and loves spinach. Popeye the Sailor Man was created by Elsa Chrysler Seeger, 1894 to 1938, and was inspired by a local legend in Seeger's hometown of Chester, Illinois. The local legend's name? Frank Rocky Fickle. He was nicknamed Rocky because of his chiseled physique, and he was feared for his fighting abilities. It was said he could render a good butt-whooping, even when attacked by several adversaries at once. The toothless Fickle worked in a local saloon. After his workday was over and a few beers consumed, he would sit outside the saloon in a chair with his corncob in his mouth and take a nap in the sun. As the school children would pass by, as he was sleeping in the chair, they would scream at him and then run away. Fickle would pop out of his chair ready to fight, fist flailing. Seeger began his cartoon career with the Chicago American in 1914. The New York Evening Journal hired Seeger in 1919 to create the syndicated Thimble Theater strip. The comic strip portrayed the adventures of Ham Gravy, his girlfriend Olive Oil, and her brother Castor. It was a success. Its complex ramblings and often used eerie narratives attracted a devoted following, even though it didn't have a strong central character. On January 17, 1929, Ham and Castor decided to set sail in search of the legendary Whiffle Hen, but they needed a crew. They walked up to the grizzled one-eyed mariner on a dock. Castor asked him, "Are you a sailor?" The mariner replied, "Do you think I'm a cowboy?" Thus, Popeye was introduced to the readers. Seeger wanted to retire the sailor at the close of that narrative, but Popeye fans were outraged and demanded more adventures with Popeye, so Seeger obliged them. Popeye won over Olive Oil, and Ham was out as Olive's love interest. Brother Castor was reduced to infrequent appearances, and the strip was renamed Thimble Theater, starring Popeye. By the time Popeye was introduced, Seeger's Thimble Theater was in its 10th year. Popeye soon became so popular, the strip began to focus more on him. Fleischer Studios, who had purchased the rights to Popeye from King Features, debuted Popeye in a Betty Boop short feature in July 1933. Popeye became an immediate hit and remained in production for Fleischer cartoon shorts for Paramount Studios until 1957. Paramount renamed the studio Paramount Cartoon Studios in 1956. Paramount continued the Popeye series for one more year. In August 1957, Spooky Swaps was released. It was the final cartoon in the series of 230 theatrical cartoons released by Paramount Pictures, but that number varies depending upon the source. Fleischer Studios produced 108 cartoons, 105 in black and white. Popeye the Sailor is still one of the most enduring characters in animation history.